What's going on, guys? Aziz here, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Inter Milan Career Mode episode number 5. This episode, we're going to be playing a few games and then simming a few. I think we sim about 3 and play 2 as we fast forward into the career mode and fast forward to November. So if you guys have kept up to this point, our main issue of the career mode so far has been the sliders and the difficulty. I finally think I got a hang of it. I made some adjustments versus the last video where I got just absolutely hammered by Udinese and Cagliari. So I think the sliders are pretty good at the moment. They're not as difficult as they used to be, but we'll continue to adjust those accordingly and just make it more enjoyable. So the first game is Juventus right here as we go up 1-0, Perisic with a nice finish. That's one of the things I figured out in this career mode, or in this particular game, is that Perisic is left-footed. I had no idea. I thought he was right-footed. I thought he was right-footed for the last 4 or 5 years. But yeah, so I shifted him to the right so he can utilize that left foot. This is better than Politano's. And the move was quite favorable in my opinion. Politano now is using more of his pace and just kind of crossing the ball in. That's one of the other strategies that I started to implement as well, is, as we talked about in the previous videos, the CPU or AI constantly go into the wings and cross the ball in. So we thought I would, or at least I thought I would do the same thing and see if I can capitalize on that. As we are 1-0, now they're working their way in the box. They were quite difficult to attain or contain with Higuain and Ronaldo up front, and they've made some interesting moves. So they brought in Robertson, who was the most expensive player of the transfer window, for about 90 million euros, and then they also brought in Jesus Navas as their new right back. Seems like Navas is now fully converted into a right back, maybe a right wing back. It's becoming again Perisic. Cut inside, nothing happened there, and then there it is, Thomas. So in this episode you'll see a few chances from Thomas like that, just outside the box, lingering, and then 1, 2, 3 steps, and then just crank it and see what happens. They come quite close. If you watch the, I think it was Udinese game, he had the only chance that was really memorable, even worthy of including in the video. As we come in again, another shot from Brozovic. Nice save from Szczesny. 32nd minute, Bonucci. They started to work the middle. I was having some difficulties. That's one of the other things I started to notice as well with the change, as Ronaldo offside again for the second time. With the new difficulty and just the sliders and how I've adjusted them, they tend to come into the middle a bit more, which is different and just a different strategy and just a different way of defending. As they cross it in, and Skriniar gets his head on there, they keep the ball in. So from the 30th until like the 40th minute, as they get a chance there from Dybala, they were basically in my half. It was like a 10-15 minute stretch where they just weren't going away. Ronaldo gets a shot, Handanovic, nice save, and then we go the other way. Oh, and that's the first half. 1-0 for us over Juventus. I was more confident in this game for sure. I started to get a hang of the players, get a hang of what I can do. As Brozovic gets in and makes it 2-0. Instead of putting the ball through there, I just made a pass. Sometimes the defenders get their foot on it. There it is, Perisic and Brozovic. Nice little Croatian dance for you. Again, another view. Yeah, so the instructions that I implemented in the last video are starting to work as well. One of them was for Brozovic to get into the box while we're attacking, and it's really worked. He's capitalized on a number of chances now. I think 2 or 3 goals that we scored with him in the box, him just kind of waiting while Eriksen's looking for a pass. We come in again, Thomas, Teles, Politano, and there's another chance, Eriksen this time. And yeah, so that seems to be our sort of game plan, is kind of work it from the outside in, get that one player in the middle who's open to receive the ball, has some time to think, and then we slot it into the middle to whoever is making that run. And this time it happens to be Eriksen. I've been very surprised by Eriksen. I didn't think that he was this good in this FIFA. I've used him in just online or seasons, and on when he was on Spurs, and I don't know. I feel like he was just maybe under the shadows of Harry Kane, Dele Alli, and some of the other players. Although, if you look at it statistically in the EPL, I think he has like second or third most assists over the last like 8 years that he was in the EPL. I think only David Silva has more than he does. As we come in again, Moses back to Correa. As we brought in Neves, another shot, as I mentioned it earlier. So we made some subs at this point. We brought in Neves, we brought in Correa as well. I think those were the only 2 subs that we brought in. We gave Eriksen a break because we have a game coming up against Borussia Dortmund. Once again, Gagliardini comes in as well. I think he came in for Brozovic, if I'm right, or maybe even Thomas. I think it was Brozovic, as he gets a shot in. I haven't really used Gagliardini too much. He's more of a reserve role player. I reckon he'll only probably play like 15 or 20 games in the season, and then we'll reanalyze whether we'll keep him at the end of the season. I don't want to jump to conclusions halfway through, but if we do get an offer in January, that's worth it. Handanovic gets a save here. If we do get an offer for him in the January transfer window, I'll consider it, but I'll play him a few more times before I decide on that, as Politano comes in on the break. And then cuts it back in, Perisic, Neves, Gagliardini, another shot. So he does move up. Once I played him in that Brozovic role, he just started to come into the box a little more. As Correa is tracking back, and that was the game, 3-0 against Juventus. It was tougher than what you just watched. They did have a number of chances and possession. As we simmed the Sassuolo game, this was the next game. Martinez, Lukaku, and Lazaro with the goals. Lazaro has been on the score sheet quite a few times now, and I think you'll see him on the score sheet again as we move on to the UEFA Champions League game. Game number 3. So now this is the final game that we're playing, or the first time we're playing a new team in the group. After this, we've played everybody. We've won the first 2 against Barcelona, Slavia Praha, and now we're playing Dortmund. Group F, there it is, Slavia Praha. I think it's on points. It's going to be either Dortmund or Barcelona, and it's going to be a close one. If we can win this game, we'll secure a 6-point lead over Dortmund, and depending on what happens in the Barcelona game, we could be 6 points ahead of Barcelona as well. But I reckon they'll crush Slavia Praha. Yeah, so this is the Champions League game. Quite excited about this one. Still the same starting 11. As you will see, Politano is on the left as well. That's one thing we were trying to expose. I know Hakimi is phenomenal in this game. He's one guy that I'm actually looking at in the right back position as Eriksen with a header. Surprised me, don't get me wrong. But nevertheless, we go up 1-0. Beautiful, beautiful finish from him. Gets his head on it. Yeah, so that's one of the things we were trying to exploit is, Hakimi. I know he's probably the stronger backs that they have. I think the other one was Rafael Guerrero. But nevertheless, we were going to exploit him for this game and just take advantage of it. There it is. Another shot of it. Yeah, so that was a strategy. And you will see continuously we try to bring it on the wings. That's one thing I'm trying to implement into my game strategy now, or just my overall gameplay. As they come right away, 3 minutes later, Gabriel Jesus makes it 1-1. I mean, this was a hell of a team to play against. They brought in Gabriel Jesus. They have brought in Jan Vertonghen from Spurs, and they've also brought in Dries Mertens, and they were all 3 when they were starting. And then you have Sancho on the left, you have Brandt in the middle, you have Marco Reus on the left, and then you have Axel Witsel. I mean, this team was absolutely stacked. So they made it 1-1 quickly. We brought it back in 11th minute for Thomas. Brozovic gets a shot off and completely misses that shot. As we come in again on the wing, another cross to Eriksen, and it deflects off of Perisic. Nice save from Roman Berkey. We come in again, Politano playing a 1-2, and he puts Alex Telles through. Coming on the wing, another cross. This was Brozovic. Chests it to Eriksen and left-footed finish. I mean, if you guys have been following the career, if you go back to the first episode, I said Eriksen is a player that, you know, he's more of a beta. He's a supporting cast. Don't get me wrong, he's really talented, extremely gifted player. But we weren't going to count on him. We're going to count on more players like Correa, Lukaku, Martinez, etc. But, I mean, he's proving me wrong. I don't know if you can hear me or he watches this video, but he's definitely proved me wrong. I think that was his 4th or 5th Champions League goal. He'll be coming again. Thomas, 24th minute. Brozovic. There we go again. Eriksen. And Lukaku gets through this time with his right foot and makes it 3-1, 25th minute. We reacted well after we allowed that first goal back, or we allowed that first goal to tie the game from Dortmund. We quickly came back and regrouped. I got 2 quick goals in, 25th minute. Eriksen involved once again, and this is a tandem that's really starting to develop with Lukaku and Eriksen. I like the fact that Lukaku can hold the ball now in the middle. Although he's not the traditional striker that I like to use, I like more of a pacey, agile striker. I've given him a chance, and so far he's proving me right, or proving me wrong. In this case, as we go in again, Politano, another cross. We come in again, Brozovic, another cross. Politano with a header, goes over the net. 32nd minute now. Yeah, but I like this whole new style of play for me personally. It's different. I mean, sometimes it can be really repetitive when you're using the same, you know, strategies and just the same team tactics. As we come in again, Telles, another cross. But yeah, this has been different for me. Using a more of a bulkier striker, someone who has strength, and I've enjoyed it so far. I can't lie. You know, I've used him way more than I have with Martinez. Another cross here, Perisic, nothing there. Skriniar gets the ball back. We continue to attack. Telles again, another cross. Perisic this time doesn't get anything on it. Berkey with the save. Come in again. I mean, we were just hammering them today. Here we go. Politano, another cross, and Eriksen, beautiful save. I mean, what a save from Berkey. Keeps it 3-1. That would have been game over at that point. I mean, Eriksen again, another cross, and this time another save. That was Brozovic with the head. Yeah, so Berkey had a phenomenal game. I know his contract is expiring. I think maybe it's this season or the next one. But I'll be definitely looking for a replacement. It's Eriksen. Bam! What a goal. Makes it 4-1. Wow. If you watched the last video, he had another shot like that. Forget who it was against in the middle. I think it was Barcelona. It was Barcelona. When he had PK, Semedo, and Lenglet on him. Let me see another angle of it. You just see the curve on that. I've starting to get accustomed to not being afraid to shoot with him. Mainly with finesse. His powers are decent, but he's way better with the finesse. And yeah, I'll definitely be taking advantage of that as the season progresses. 4-1 hat-trick from Eriksen. Turnover. And here comes Dortmund. Chance. Nothing on it from Jesus. Andanovic quickly turns it over to Lukaku, and we come the other way around. Politano. Now it's Akanji on the side, and we put through Lukaku. Cuts it in, 52nd minute, and puts it away, 5-2. That was basically the game. From here on forth, we were just kind of sitting back and just enjoying the lead and ready to move on to the next game. They get a few more chances. Here's Mertens, one of the players that I would have expected more from, and Brand misses a net. 72nd minute. There's another angle. I mean, the scoreline says 5-1, but they have a phenomenal team. As we come in again, we put Correa through. I don't know what I was doing here. I was gonna shoot, and then I was kind of hesitant because Brozovic, I think it was also trailing with us. And we come in. Here's Sancho. Cuts it into the middle to Brand. He flicks it up, try to get something off of it, and then Royce with a shot. Nice save from Handanovic. Go the other way around. 86th minute. Here's Lukaku. Puts on Eriksen. Comes the other way. Can he get his fourth? Nope. Nice save by Berkey. And that's how the game ends. 5-1 against Dortmund. So we've beaten Barcelona 3-1. Now we've beaten Dortmund 5-1. We beat Slavia Praha 4-1 as well. I'll be readjusting the sliders in the next video. Try to make it a little more difficult. One thing I've noticed is the AI doesn't attack as much as it used to. As we simmed the game against Parma, Lukaku with the brace, Correa and Martinez also with goals. Lukaku came on as a sub and scored in the 53rd and 77th minute. No injuries, 1 yellow from Neves. If you see Parma, they got McTominay, Karama, who we loaned out to them. And then we see also the Benfica game, also win 4-0. Telles with a brace, Brozovic and Lukaku once again with a goal. Thomas and Telles with yellows, and Martinez came on as a sub. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Turn on the notification on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.